Hello, welcome. Come in, have a seat, get comfy, let's chit chat. That's what we like to do here on my channel. I have a nice, warm, fresh cup of coffee I just brewed. Hopefully you have something yummy to drink or eat while you watch and listen to this show. And welcome, my name's Audrey. I am a psychic medium, and I'm the salty psychic. As you get to know me, you will understand the salty part. I'm just a little salty. I am. That's, whatever. But thanks for being here today. Please hit that like button right away. It's really going to help the channel to grow, as well as subscribing. And also, it really, really helps if you shared my videos. You can just get the link and send it to your mom, your sister, your friends at work, or your therapist. I don't know, whoever you want to share me with. I'm happy to be shared. So I really appreciate you guys helping me to grow the channel. That way we can be doing some live shows. And if you've never been to a live broadcast, it's a good opportunity to get to know other people who are like-minded, because they're generally watching because of certain interests, so you'll have the same interests as they do. So a lot of people make friends just during the live shows, in the chats, in the comment section. You don't have to pay to be a subscriber, and that's not something I'm doing right now. I don't know if I'll ever do that. Some other channels do that, and that's totally fine too. But I'm free, you guys, and I'm here for you. This channel's for you, and I sprinkle in my little heartfelt explanations of why I'm here throughout every video. So just hang tight. Here's some inspiration. We are going to talk about the Idaho murders in Moscow, Idaho. We're going to talk about that. I do have a few other things I want to talk about real quick. So fast forward it 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know, but I have a few things I want to throw out there, and just basically answering a couple questions. And yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started. Hit that subscribe button though, please. Right now, right away. Okay, so the last video, I believe this is episode 9 that we're on. This video, I hope. I think so. But in the last video, I didn't get to everything. I was so excited because Spirit was here. The girls were here. Kaylee and Madison were here. They were here with me. I don't know how it works, you guys, but they were here, and I'm already getting the chills, which means Spirit's coming to me. I don't know who it is yet, but there's Spirit here. And also, just so you know, a side personal note, because I am at home channeling spirits, a lot of times the spirits tend to hang around or come back. So luckily the girls are wonderful, amazing, warm, fuzzy, beautiful spirits. And they're welcome to hang out in my house if they want to. But that's just something, I don't know if people are aware that, and that's, I think, very common for anyone who channels spirit, is the spirits tend to kind of hang around. I've had to ask some to leave. I've had to ask some men to leave. I don't know if I've asked any women to leave. I just don't like the men hanging around me. Yeah, so that's that. All right, so I didn't remember to tell you everything in the last video. But before we get to the murders, I have some notes over here. Lori Sacconi. Lori, thank you for the question, Lori. Is there a time limit of when their souls will fully cross over? I'm sure it's up to them. So Lori's talking about, I believe, Lori, correct me if I'm wrong, but when I talk about someone that's passed away, for example, Madison and Kaylee have passed, but they've not crossed over. They are completely at peace, 100% at peace, but they're choosing not to cross over. A lot of spirits do that. They just stay. And they have plus there are reasons why they want to stay, and they can actually go and come back. So once they leave the Earth's atmosphere, they can come back anytime. They can go back and forth in a fraction of a second. Fraction of a second, you guys. It's fascinating. And, you know, I'll tell you how I learned that information is from a student of mine who passed. He was in high school when he passed. He was living out of state, but he had been my student when he was in elementary school. And he showed me, Stefan, showed me how he would go back and forth. It was amazing. Anyway, we can talk about that another time, but it blows my mind. Okay, so when this, is there a certain limit of time? There's no limit, time limit as to, there's no window. There's no travel window. Like if the spirits don't cross within 48 hours, they're stuck here on Earth. There's nothing like that I have ever seen. And when I read your question, Lori, something else came to my mind. And I thought, gosh, I've never seen God or spirit or any entity ever come to like take them away out of their will, against their will, except one person. This is someone we've talked about. The one person I have seen physically removed, not physically, but you know, what is energy? I don't know, but one person I saw removed from the Earth's atmosphere. Take a second and guess. Take a second and guess. Who did I say didn't kill himself? Who did I say was murdered himself after murdering his wife? Fotis Dulos, ladies and gentlemen, was physically removed from the planet. But the thing is, and we'll talk about this later, is there's no hell that I've ever, there's not a fiery hell with a devil. And that's something we can talk about later. I'll be doing videos on all of these things I talk about in detail. There is a form of hell, but that's when someone places themselves in a solitary confinement, basically, is hell. Fotis Dulos was scratching, trying to claw. Okay, oh God, I don't want to talk to him. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. If he's back, this could be interesting right now. God. I haven't talked to him in a while. I was shown, not right away, but I would say maybe a week after Fotis Dulos died, I saw a vision of him being pulled by something. And he's like showing me like, no, as he's being ripped away from the Earth. And I can see him right now, just trying to reach for Jennifer because she's passed, oh God, I have the chills. Horrible man. I try not to say bad things about spirit. But I have to say, I can understand why this happened to him. But I haven't seen it with anyone else ever. So every time I channel someone new, I get more information. And like I mentioned in the last video, I've channeled the same spirit 25, 26 plus times. And I get new information from them every time. They're like onions, these spirits. These spirits are like onions. They're just layer after layer after layer. It's very interesting. So thank you, Lori, for that question. So yeah, people can come and go as they wish, and when they're ready, they will cross over. And I think I just saw a little right here. It's probably Fotis trying to hold on. Fotis, I don't want you in my house. You need to leave. Please leave. Okay, and then real quick, I want to acknowledge a question from Smiley Face. Smiley, you asked me about a few different people who've passed, and I took a look in my mind at David Cassidy. Do you guys remember David Cassidy? He's a little bit older than me, so he wasn't really like my heartthrob when I was a kid, but he was definitely a heartthrob. And I sat and just kind of meditated on him for a little bit. And I did Google an image of him just so I could look at him, because that's how I gather a lot of information. And I didn't really get anything until like 20 minutes ago. So when I was getting ready to do this video, I was thinking, okay, I got to mention David Cassidy. Nothing really going on. There's no mystery for me surrounding his death. But as I'm telling myself this, like, okay, don't forget to mention David Cassidy, Spirit showed me, and I don't know if it's him or like my spirit guide or some other spirit, but Spirit showed me that David was wronged. He was done wrong. Is that a saying? He was done wrong. Somebody really wronged him. I don't know how else to put it. I do believe it was a woman, but now I'm saying a man with the woman. Interesting. See, the more you think about Spirit, that they'll continue to come in. Okay, so I'm just looking at him. I see the woman. She looks blonde, dirty blonde. And then I see her, something suspicious. Smiley face, something suspicious, but right now I'm not feeling it has to do with his passing. I'm feeling it has to do with money and just, pretty much a criminal act from this woman and possibly a man. So you might know the whole story. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if there is a story out there, but if you're a David Cassidy fan, you might know something about this. So if I'm onto something, put it in the comments, but I just don't know. The less I know, the better. I don't want to see any information most of the time. Occasionally I'll go in. If I don't hear back from Spirit or whatever, then I may go in and start reading about something. If Spirit tells me to go read, I'm going to go read. Sometimes Spirit tells me, just Google it. Just Google it, Audrey. Just Google it. So, all right. Well, if you're telling me, then I'll Google, but I'm not Googling yet. Okay. Smiley, you also asked about Marilyn Monroe. I'm 50, almost 55. I know Marilyn Monroe's dead. But I have never gotten anything on, well, I shouldn't say that. Now here comes some information. I was lying a second ago. I do remember getting information on Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, she was murdered. Why would I not remember that until right now? She was overdosed on purpose. Why did I not remember that till right now? Because I have a bad memory. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe. I can picture her in the room. Okay, I've never said this before, so I've never talked about her before, I don't think, but I see her bedroom. I see a man, hold on. Right now, I'm seeing the man who poisoned her, making sure she was out. She wasn't dead at this point, but she was unconscious. But he went out a side door I'm being shown this man he didn't leave out of the same door he entered her room. And this feels like a bedroom. Yeah, I forgot about that. Ugh. You know, I am so sick of these freaking men thinking they can just, another video. Okay. Summer Moon, I haven't looked into that one yet. Terry Ackerman, I haven't looked into that yet, but I do have these all written down and I will get to them as I can. So let me cross off for now, Marilyn and David. And all right, so let's get back to these Idaho 4 murders. I had to start taking high blood pressure medication, and I think I know why. I have an anger problem. I have an anger problem when it comes to men murdering women and men treating women bad. And yeah, I had to start high blood pressure medicine. And I can feel like right now, as I'm very emotional because I'm thinking about these murders, I can feel the blood pressure coming. If I yell out or say something, I apologize ahead of time, but it does boil my blood. I'm telling you, my blood gets very, very hot. Okay, back we go to Moscow, Idaho. I have my notes from last video. Okay, Brian Koberger, who I'm choosing to call Hamburger. Why? Because he's a joke. He's a joke. You're a joke. Now, I've said from the beginning, he's not going to be punished to the extent of the law as I would hope. And someone asked, and I apologize, do I not have that other paper here? Oh, gosh. Somebody did say, do you mean the death penalty? Is he not going to get the death penalty? Here's what I see when I think about Brian Hamburger and his punishment and his jail time and his life in prison. It may appear to some that he's going to be punished appropriately. Believe it or not, there's a lot of people in this world who, for some reason, think criminals should have X, Y, and Z rights. And we here in the U.S. give these people X, Y, and Z rights. Keeps them alive, keeps them out of solitary confinement. It allows them to have outside time. It allows them to have conjugal visits. So there's varying degrees of punishment in prison. I don't know what it would feel like to murder or kill someone by accident even. So it's easy for me to say, yeah, the death penalty. But being a juror, that's a whole nother thing. That would be hard to do, to know that you were part of this man's death. But hey, you know what? That's our responsibility as Americans, is to punish appropriately. That's why we have this rule, this punishment. I don't know why it's not in all 50 freaking states. I don't understand why it's not in the whole world. Have you been to England? Australia? Some of these countries, you can murder someone, you're out in 10 years. It's appalling. Now, I see Hamburger. I'm trying to come up with a word. Manipulating. He's manipulating the system. He's manipulating the lawyers. he's threatening the lawyers. And I found out that I knew he was getting his PhD, but I found out through my husband, it has something to do with criminal justice or crime or the system, something that he's having to deal with firsthand right now. So now he knows what his rights are and what the law states about evidence that's being moved in to his case, evidence that maybe needs to get disqualified and moved out of this case. And I see that very, very clearly, psychically, spirit-wise. I see a lot of, okay, here comes spirit. I see so much manipulation, and he's calling out to the police and to lawyers that they're doing this wrong and that X, Y, and Z can't be submitted as evidence because of whatever. But he's right. He's not making false claims. He's calling it out as it is. That's the infuriating part. He's right. I'm so itchy. Oh, sorry. The thing is, he's right. Why? How did this happen? Evidence was contaminated, I'm being shown. Reports weren't filled out appropriately or within a certain timeline, allegedly, is what I'm saying. This is just me. These are not facts. These are not facts. This is me talking to spirit. Can you imagine? It's horrible enough your loved one was murdered, but to potentially let the criminal off easy because of paperwork or contamination. And contamination doesn't mean like it's horribly, like it's ripped up or something. I don't know. Evidence can be so many different things. But if it's even the slightest bit uncertain, they'll throw the evidence out. And I'm being shown right now that Hamburger's father, Hamburger Sr., is helping. He's helping to call out these mistakes. And this is what I wanted to talk about too last video is the very first time my husband told me, asked me about this murder, I said the police know who did it. They're on to him. They're not arresting him today. They're waiting to gather evidence. That way they have enough to throw him in and throw away the key. So they had a good thing going, the police or FBI or whoever did it. They were on the right track, the police, law enforcement. Police knew who did it, which we got to talk about that too. And that same moment, I told my husband and the parents know. I said, more so the dad. The mom's concerned or worried. The dad's like, let's not tell mom everything. And I'll come pick you up. The dad knew. The dad knew, allegedly, my own opinion, not factual, from spirit, I am being shown. So, Does this make Dad the accomplice that they've been talking about? Because there's only one person that murdered those four students. Now, in addition to Hamburger Sr. knowing, aiding, and abetting a murderer, there's one other person that knew about the murders, and he was told by Hamburger Jr. that Hamburger Jr. wanted to do it. And this other person, now I know Hamburger Jr., Brian, I think he's 28, right? He's 28 years old. And I keep seeing the 28 right now. I keep seeing the 28. So as I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to Spirit. And I'm asking Spirit, why do you keep showing me the 28? I know Hamburger Jr. is 28. I know that. What's your point? And I'm seeing the other young man, the person Hamburger told about this fantasy or desire to murder people. He told this other guy, Brian told this other person about what he wanted to do. This other person is young as well. I'm asking Spirit to show me if there's an affiliation with the college with this other person. Does this person work at the college? Who is he? I can clearly see the guy. But I can't see where he belongs. I don't see where he lives. I don't see what he's affiliated with. But I feel him in his house. Like, I know what his house feels like, this other guy. Like, I'm in the house right now because that's what Spirit does. Spirit takes me away. Like I said, you can be gone. Your soul can be up and back in a fraction of a second. And that's kind of what happens to me when I'm channeling with Spirit and Spirit's taking me somewhere to show me something. That is how I get the smells. Or I feel things because I'm being taken to these places. I know. It's crazy. And I had full body chills. I believe the girls are here and they're standing off to the side. They're like, just let her finish. We'll talk to her when she's done. Just let her finish. Let her keep talking. So I think law enforcement knows about this other young guy. Everyone's young to me, more and more so as I age. This other young man, law enforcement does know about him, and I think they're trying to figure out if he was involved. And I think they will discover he was not. However, do they want to make an example out of him and charge him with something, somehow, somewhere, because he knew and didn't say anything? I don't see how they can do that, but I can see how they could arrest Brian Hamburger's father. Plus, if you're talking about, this has to be a thing. If you're talking about a criminal leaving the state, they drove across the United States, is that a different charge for every state that they were in? Or something? Is that a thing? Yep. I'm watching them drive across the U.S. Hamburger's dad is very organized. He's got boom, 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 boom. He's got everything set up. Here's what we're going to do. Here's the plan. It's okay. It's okay. He's consoling Hamburger. You know, it can't be easy on a parent. But I'll tell you, if any of my kids were guilty, it sucks, but you're going to pay the price. And I'm just trying to put myself in that place. But see, my kids aren't like that. You know, if my son or daughter came to me and said, oh my God, I hit and ran somebody in my car, you know, yeah, you got to go back. You got to call the police. You have to tell them. You just can't run from certain things, as Fotis Dulos found out the hard way. Now, I want to mention again, I don't know if the girls want to come in, because as I mentioned in the last video, they kept showing me the letter C, as in cat, Carol, Charlie. If anyone can connect the letter C to either of the two girls, Madison or Kaylee, let me know. I could go on Google and look it up and stuff, but I don't want to, because then that's going to mess me up. There's too much of this case is too fresh. I don't want to go on and read anything. But if you guys can tell me in the comments below, who's the letter C? Is this a restaurant or bar, or is this one of the colleges on campus, or is this someone's name that starts with a C, like one of their parents or something? Maybe this other young man starts with a letter C. It's a lot of mystery for me, but that's why I throw out the information and connect back through it later. So, like when I'm doing a reading with you one-on-one or two-on-one, whatever, I just start writing everything down as I'm talking, as I'm listening to you, and I'm listening to spirit at the same time I'm writing. Sometimes I can't write things out quick enough because spirit's so excited that I'm here and I can translate. Someone's definitely here. Okay, it's not, the girls are over here. I can still see them, but they're not here in my body. There's someone right here behind me. I'm watching the monitor to see if there's an orb. This feels like a male energy. I see the letter B, but then I also see that this person's wearing brown. Male energy. Very thin, like a on this side, right behind me. He's like looking over my shoulder right here. He's looking at you guys. He's like, what is this? But this person, I believe, is young, died young, I should say, died young. I don't know. But I wrote it down. And this person may come back next video. I don't know. Now, let me make sure I've said everything I wanted to about... Oh, I just saw my note here. Okay. The girls, Kaylee and Madison, told me one of the first things they said to me when they came into my presence the other day was, we thought it was a joke. We're like, oh... when Brian Hamburger came into the room, when they were sleeping, they thought it was a joke. They thought it was a friend or the friend of somebody else from the house. So they weren't particularly caught off guard in such a way that they were going to defend themselves for their life. I'm just waiting to see if the girls want to go here now with me. Someone asked if the girls were in the same room. They were. And I don't know what this means, but I feel like the bed that the girls were in, or it could be Zaina and Ethan's bed, but I feel like the bed is low to the ground. Either it didn't have a box spring, or it was just like a foam bed. I feel like there was nowhere to hide. There was no under the bed area. These little things like this help validate my whole experience here and sharing it with you. Because I can clearly see but I definitely feel that the bed was low to the ground, and they thought it was a joke. Zaina and Ethan didn't think it was a joke, but the girls thought it was some sort of joke. I'm just looking. I'm in the house. I mean, just, oh God, picturing Hamburger in that house coming down the hallway. Jeez. You know, please, I'm going to get on my soapbox, especially for you young people. I don't know what's wrong with you guys, but you don't think you ever have to lock your doors. Why not? Lock your doors. It's like that case in Indiana with Abby and, sorry, I forgot the other one's name. Anyway, totally preventable, these things. Just because you live in a small town or everyone knows each other doesn't mean you're safe. You may be living next door to a murderer. Lock your doors. Please, lock your car. You don't want to get in your car and have someone in the back seat and then, oh God. I don't watch horror movies, and I'm going to do another video on why you shouldn't watch horror movies, okay? I did the video before when it was on my old channel, but I'm going to do it again because it's important. But please, not to scare you, not to put you in a panic, but be smart. Like when my daughter was young and she didn't have keys to the house or she lost them again, I'm not leaving the front door open. No, you call and wake me up or text me. I'll get up and come let you in the front door. Make sure at the time her boyfriend is there waiting and watching and waiting till I open the door and wave. Okay, you can go. For the love of God. We don't live in that kind of world anymore, you guys. It is not safe. Oh, Lord. All right. That's it for today. The girls are still here, but they're not really talking to me, so that's okay. I'm sure they will in the future. I have some royal news. I got some royal business we have to talk to, so that'll be my next video after this one. You guys, let's get this channel up. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. That helps the channel grow. Share the video with everyone you know. All right, you guys, take care. Be safe. Love you so much. I'll see you soon. Ciao.